So yeah, did you see it? There were some things that we were expecting to come out. There were some things that we knew would come to fruition, but there were some things that we were kind of shocked about. Like, what? I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Welcome back to my channel. We are reviewing Claws, Season 1, Episode number 8, Teatro. If it's your first time visiting my channel because you saw me somewhere, recommended video, someone told you, you heard about me, why don't you stay a while, become a ray of sunshine by clicking that young subscribe button, and then click the notification bell so you're alerted of all the videos I upload. If you're already a ray of sunshine, you know what it is. I love you for real. So just to establish where we are and what happened in episode 7, we saw that Jen was a little depressed and she had a setback. We found out that she was an alcoholic and has alcohol abuse problems and fell off the wagon. We saw that she confronted Desna about setting the Kuntzes up and having her husband, Bryce, kill the Kuntzes, and they didn't kill Roller, but Virginia and Desna had. We saw Polly and her relationship with Marnie, which was kind of weird. We saw Quiet Ann show why she's the enforcer and not to be played with. Jen, you know better. But what we saw, and two things that were very climactical, or the climax, y'all know what the word is I'm looking for, is one, Dean and Virginia in South Beach. Virginia fucking Dean, finding out that he is hung like a horse, like he's King Kong, like he a beast. Ugh. So she had to get a piece of that old dark meat. And then we saw the emergence or re-emergence of Roller in South Beach. He escaped from the crazy lady Gladys, only to be caught by the Russians. Okay? Okay, so here we go. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm probably going to be all over the place. So yeah, let's just talk about the first scene. Let's talk about Roller walking into the shop. The ladies are talking and having a conversation about him. Where has he been and how did he come back and shit, what's going on? And there's a cell phone that seems to be Miss China Doll's. I didn't see her take a photo of Roller. So what are they looking at? They should have showed me what they were looking at, because I feel like they were looking at a photo of Roller and I didn't see her take a picture. I saw her scared shitless like she was going to piss her pants. But in rocks Roller. Everyone gasped, because you would have gasped if your ex-boyfriend that you tried to kill come walking in and you and your homegirls, they was all like, and he's all like, good to see you, Desna. You are so beautiful. Everybody wants to know, Roller, are you okay? Do you remember what happened? He's all like, no, I don't remember. And then come to find out, he goes and sees Desna before he sees anybody else. Okay? Now that alone is kind of freaky. But then again, the sincerity of it made me feel like, oh, that's kind of sweet. Does he really have amnesia or no? Like, that first episode had me there questioning, guessing, thinking, what? Like, huh? And when we found that he didn't go see Uncle Daddy, Desna's all like, you need to go see Uncle Daddy. Wouldn't it, now that I think about it, it is kind of weird that he just appeared at the shop. That just hit me. Like, how did you get to the shop? How are you all nicely dressed? How did you get here? You ain't in no car. I'm just saying, I'm going to add my theory together in a little while, because it just hit me. So they go to Uncle Daddy's house, right? And the weirdest shit ever, they're in there having a meeting, a drug cartel meeting about how they're branching out and how big they're going to become. The 2 hillbillies plus Uncle Daddy. Well, that makes 3 hillbillies. You got Toby in there with his little dress on and the turtle. Well, I can't think of the turtle's name right now. It's always in my mind. Anyway, Uncle Daddy looks up at the painting in his house, and it is crying blood, the sign of a miracle. And he looks forward, and up comes Roller with the girls behind him, looking very angelic with the white light around him, looking like he is floating up the stairs. Uncle Daddy is shocked as shit, drops his glass, and is happy to see his son, his baby boy. Like, I mean, all these are genuine reactions that we would have. So he gets checked out. They ask him if he remembers anything. He says no. Dr. Ken is all like, that's normal for a traumatic experience. He might have PTSD. You know, it seems valid. The validity of it all is fine. And everybody's still looking like, what the fuck? Now, the girls especially, because now all the girls are on the same page and know that Desna and Virginia has killed him. And they don't want Desna alone with Roller, or had tried to kill him. They don't want Desna alone with Roller at all. That's why they came with her to Uncle Daddy's. Everybody but Virginia. She was smart. She was thinking, if he says something, I ain't gonna be there to be the one to get killed. I'm gonna hear about it. I'm gonna be able to get ghosts. That's how my mind was working. She was like, I stay here at the shop. Yes, girl, stay at the shop. Don't cause no waves. So Desna, you know, Desna and Roller go and have something to eat. And Roller is like having a heart-to-heart and telling her how he didn't treat her right and that he was sorry about it. And I'm looking at this going, maybe he really does have amnesia. She even goes as far as to ask him if he remembers the last time she was at his house and threaded his eyebrows. And he's all like, no. I mean, now see, Roller became a good actor when he was up in that swamp with that crazy lady. And I'm kind of wondering when the crazy lady is going to reappear, because she's going to come find her man. And she's going to try to kill her man. She coming for him. You hear me? She wants him. You hear me? He done made a fool of her and shit. So he wants to go back to her house. They go back to her house. She's nervous as fuck, as she should be. Like, you should be skeptical. You should be feeling some kind of way. And the thing is, they didn't take him to a real doctor. They took him to, well, Dr. Ken is quote-unquote a real doctor, but they should have took him to the hospital. But, you know, they didn't, because they hustlers. They the Dixie Mafia. You know what I'm saying? So you do things the Mafia kind of way. They get to Desna's house, take a shower. Desna's in her nightie. She notifies the girls that they're going there, and the girls are like, I don't think this is a good idea, but we just got to see how it plays out. When Roller comes in, Roller is like, D, I miss you. I forgot how beautiful you are. And the next thing you know, they're fucking. Now, listen, a little kiss and then you sticking your dry penis up in my dry coochie, okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Sometimes it works out that way because you be excited and you be wet. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think Desna was excited. She was scared. Her little coochie was probably all dried up. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Fellas, do not go stick your dry stick in no dry hole. It hurts us. It probably hurts you too because it's friction. Make sure you make sure she wet or something. Rub down there. Preferably, go ahead and do some cunningness down here. You know, eat her out. You know, get good. Give her some good head so that she's prepared for you to receive you. That cracked me up. Well, he asked her to do a favor, and she goes to reach for the neck like normal. And he's all like, "What are you doing?" She said, I thought that's what you wanted. And he was like, that's not what I want anymore. I want you to get on top. I love you. I'm sorry I didn't do you right. I mean, but it's sincere. I'm like feeling the sincerity and the emotion behind Roller. She gets on top and she does her thing. I don't think that she was getting any O's before. She got her an O this time. But since we're going to talk about Roller and Desna, I'm just going to stay on Roller and Desna, though I want to talk about other stuff I think, and I may need to look at my notes. But I'm going to just go ahead and skip around. Let me back up and say that Uncle Daddy was like, we are going to give Roller a white party. The next morning they wake up and Desna is like, where's Roller? He's not in the bed. Dean has made a breakfast for everybody, and Jen, as her best friend, has made her way over there with her family, okay, to make sure her girl is okay. So she's happy to see everybody who wants to know what's going on, and the knock is at the door. And who is at the door? None other than her current boo, Dr. Greg. She's shocked as shit, as she should be. First off, let me say something. If we aren't exclusive, if we have not made it known that we are exclusive, don't be popping up at nobody's house. You get your feelings hurt being popping up at people's houses. And people trying to save you and, you know, hide themselves. Y'all excuse how I look. Anyway. So, he's excited to see her, has breakfast in his hand, is kissing her, and out comes Roller in the middle of the kiss. The awkwardness is here. At that point, I'm shocked Roller didn't say anything. I was real shocked. That's how I felt like he had turned over a new leaf, but it was, again, all an act. Dr. Greg is like, who is that? He's like, oh, it was ex-boyfriend. Now, at this point, she should have said it was an ex-boyfriend that died and had came back. And we all thought he was dead, and he came over and we're having breakfast or whatever. Because I feel like that's going to come bite her in her ass. I really do. It's going to bite her hard in her ass, too. Bryce and Roller, I was saying, where is their relationship going to be? I asked y'all that last week. Nobody wanted to tell me what they thought their relationship was going to be like. It's tumultuous. It is, because Bryce has taken over the clinic. And Roller, that's normally his spot. He wants his shit back. But Bryce ain't giving it up. You saw the exchange of glances inside the clinic. You saw them get into a fight at the white party where Bryce was holding his own, like, you got me fucked up. Like, I ain't the little scared big brother like I was before. You know, I've been handling shit. The clinic is up and doing a whole lot of numbers because of me. You can have the MRI truck. Fuck what you talking about. And Roller's all like, you crackhead ass nigga, you think you can do better than me? You can't do better than me. I'm Roller. I'm coming for my spot. I mean, and you see at this point, Roller is very angry. Before that, though, you saw Desna telling the girls, I need to figure out what's going on with Roller. I saw on his phone there were text messages about money owed. Now, where did his cell phone come from? And how does the Russians have the number already? Where'd it come from? I know little details, like stuff I be needing to connect for me. I guess we need to infer, okay? It was his old cell phone, I suppose, and he did go to the house and get it? Huh? Okay, whatever. So, you see Desna and Roller on the dance floor. Before they get on the dance floor, Roller is outside talking to the motherfucking Russians. See, now here's where my theory comes in. Because I was like, why in the hell, how did he show up at the fucking nail shop with no car? Out of nowhere. Because that is where the Russians dropped him. Because the Russians knew that Desna was his girl. That is where they dropped him. He goes outside and guess what? I wasn't looking for it. I didn't think. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I did say something. I don't know what I said. But maybe I was feeling it and didn't share it. But he owes them money. He dropped it. They found him. Run us our money. You got 24 hours to come up with $150K. He's all like, I don't do the clinic anymore. And that pretty much is how that fight with Bryce comes about, because I need to be in the shop. I need to be at the clinic. I need to get my shit back, and I'm gonna need you to bow back. And Bryce is like, no, I'm not gonna bow back. I'm not coming out. This is what I'm doing. Fuck you, Roller. I'm good at this. So when he comes back in the house, when Roller comes back in the house, he asks Desna for a dance. They have a conversation. He's asking for Desna's forgiveness about Virginia, that she didn't mean anything to us. And let's just talk about the white dress that Desna had on. That dress gave me so much life, it's not even funny. I need to go on Google and figure out where the fuck that dress came from, because September comes around and nothing but white parties come. And her body was so well put together. Honey, I was just like, come through. So was Jen with the one shoulder ruffle dress, that bodycon. I was like, you a blonde bombshell. Go on, Jen. Yes, give me life. Okay, back to Roller and Desna on the dance floor. You hear a champagne bottle pop. I tell you, that fucking Roller is a good actor, because he drops down as if it triggered something and he was going to pass out, and Desna's hollering for a chair for him to sit down. And all of a sudden he says, I remember who killed me. Honey, the look on Desna and Virginia's face. Honey, baby. Yes, honey. Looks like who shot John and what for. He said, I remember the two people that came into my house, first tried to drown me, and when that didn't work out, the second one shot me. Right then and there, they knew he knew. And he was playing them. And then he went on to say that it was the Russians. Okay? So that's a big deal. If it was anybody else, Uncle Daddy would have been on it. But you have to get permission because you don't want to start no mafia war with the Russians and the Dixies. So they had to go get permission, and that's just not what's going to happen. They're going to have to figure out something else. But Roller is extremely upset about them not taking action. He wants out of whatever this deal is or whatever they owe him. He needs out immediately. We see Roller as she's with Bryce, and then again it hits the fan, and they're fighting, they're tussling. And Uncle Daddy says it plain and simple so that there's no misunderstanding that Roller, you are now in charge of the MRI trucks because Bryce is doing a great job. Bryce is responsible. But I want to say something. Bryce is with the business now. Bryce was like, looked at him like, nigga, you calling me a crackhead again? Nigga, you think I can't handle this? Draws back and knocks him down. But of course, Roller's bigger, stronger, and really more with the business, so he gets the upper hand. But Uncle Daddy saves Bryce because Bryce is the breadwinner, the moneymaker now. Let's talk about Bryce. Let's talk about Bryce. Bryce is having a setback. Did you see Bryce take another sniff at she's? Did you see Bryce talk to Jen? Because Jen has come back to her senses knowing that this isn't what we should be doing. We don't need the clinic. We both need to be working on our sobriety, and we don't need to do this. This is going to be the downfall of our family. And Bryce pretty much tells Jen to shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of hearing you say the same thing. This is what it is. It's making us have a better life. But I'm with Jen. Seeing him constantly around that shit, like it was just the pills and he wasn't a pill head. But knowing that he was a crackhead, a coke sniffer, or whatever, doing sugar booger, that's not healthy for him to be around. You saw that when stressful situations happen, stressful situations and parties and shit happen, that's normally when people who have addictions go to their addiction. That's when they normally go to a sniff, you know, for a little boost, a little pick-me-up. That's normally when you see that happening. What else about Bryce? That's pretty much it about Bryce. Bryce ain't backing down from Roller. I'm all over the place, but it's fine. Let's talk about Ken and Polly. Polly was like, I'm going to give you some of this sweet meat. Polly gave him some in the outside wash-off shower. Honey, she was working him. Ken is hooked now. So much so that in the office, when they were doing research, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, Ken came in looking all crazy, talking all crazy, spilled the beans, saying that, Polly, if you don't want to fool with me, don't fool with me. You know, Ken is easily led. He already sprung on Polly off of one good little fuck. But Polly said it was good. Polly, get yours. Get yours, Polly. Okay? You ain't had no real dick. You and that little battery operated vibrator you got need to go somewhere. Get you some real dick. So let's talk about, before I get into the crutches of it and the good stuff that we put together, let's talk about Arlene and Quiet Ann. See, Quiet Ann should have left Arlene alone, because now we see that it's come to fruition that Arlene is trouble. Arlene doesn't like Chip. She thinks he's smug. She knows that he's working for Uncle Daddy, and now she's got her eyes set on the fucking realtor's case, the Kuntzes. She's all like, it doesn't seem to be real. Why? If it was a drug war or a drug retaliation, why did they leave the money and the drugs? Explain that one. She's starting to get in it. Quiet Ann is like, you don't want to be bothered with the Dixie Mafia. Stay away from the Dixie Mafia. Don't get involved. But Arlene is not listening. She goes to Roller's house and goes and looks for clues and shit. Drops the file, and there's a nail, right? A broken nail from, you know, with some nail art. Now, here's my thing. That could have came from anything, because it's a big house and he could have been having a party. But now they're going to link it back to artisans. Y'all, that's far-fetched. From a nail, unless it got fingerprints or some shit on it. But it's a little piece of a nail that broke. Yeah. So, let's talk about Desna. Wait, I talked about Polly. I talked about Quiet Ann. I talked about a little bit about Jen, who's coming back to her senses. Let's talk about Desna. Let's talk about Desna. Desna, baby Desna. When they found out that Roller was faking, Desna was like, we need to figure out what it is Roller is hiding. What is Roller hiding? Dean is all outside when they're having this conversation. He's like, something bad's going to happen. I feel it. I feel it. He starts having anxiety. You got to listen to people when they tell you. You don't know where it's coming from. But your intuition, if you're connected and you're innocent or you're a woman, your intuition works really good. So they're trying to figure out what it is going on with the money. They go to the clinic and look at the books and find that that Roller has created a fictitious business, an invoice for a Tegel reverse legit pharmacy, and has been giving them $30K monthly, or even more than monthly, but often. We then see them go and do some research and go over to the Lebanese check cashing place. Asks a few questions. They find out that so that happened first. They find out that Roller had been given $30K first. And then they went to the clinic and found that he had created a fictitious business and invoice and had been siphoning money from the clinic to give to the Russian. We then see the Russian mafia, Riva, the mother, and the twins come inside. Did I tell y'all that he said that the Russians were the ones that killed him? I think I did. If I didn't, that's what he said. He said that the Russians had killed him. See, I may have to start going back and go in order because I get confused sometimes. Stay with me though, and if I miss something, y'all just tell me. So they find out that he has been siphoning money to give to the Russians, right? And Riva comes in and she says, I hear you've been snooping around my business. Why should we kill you? At this point, Desna feels like she has nothing else to do but to tell the truth. She's all like, we didn't try to kill Roller. And she said, I know, because I did. It was me. Riva's all like, oh, you my kind of girl. You know, he had been, doing me dirty. Pretty much not giving me my money, fucking on me or whatever, and cheating on me. And I was tired. She didn't say it, but that was really what the pretense was. And she was proud, Riva was. And then she said, because see, Desna's about saving face, trying to make sure she's safe and the people she loves is safe. So she told Riva, he told the Dixie Mafia that you were the one that killed him. Added a whole nother dynamic to everything. You hear me? A whole nother dynamic to the whole situation. It's about to go down. You hear me? I can't wait to see it go down. But the conclusion of this, when she calls Roller and says, meet me. They go and they meet out by the pier or the marina or whatever. She feels like it's a safe place. And she says to him, I know you've been taking money from the clinic. Just leave us alone and I won't tell Uncle Daddy. He's all, fuck that. Pulls out the gold gun that Virginia pulled the trigger, right? And shot him with, and points it in her face and like, fuck that bitch. You're not gonna make it to the end of the day. Now, the gold gun, I thought they had taken and gotten rid of that gun. How does he have another one? How does he have it? He ain't been home but 3 days. Y'all, some things to me, I need them to be a little more realistic. I know it's TV, but I need it to be a little more realistic because my analytical mind tells me that that's off. You understand? So, that's how it ends. Get the fuck in the car. Bitch, you ain't gonna make it. Now, we know that ain't gonna happen. We know he ain't gonna kill Desna. We know that when it comes on next week, it's gonna be a twist. It's gonna either be the Russians there or the crazy fucking Gladys lady there. It's not gonna happen. Because she tells him, the girls know where I am, and if I don't come back, they gonna know. He don't give a fuck. So we know that something is about to transpire to save her. Is the crazy lady coming back? Will the Russians find him? Will Quiet Ann get worried or confused? Because why the fuck is she meeting him by herself anyway? Especially after we done found out that he knew and he didn't have amnesia, that he was just fucking faking. Y'all tell me what you think about the episode. I enjoyed the episode immensely. I liked all the things that I knew was going to happen, and then that new burst of twist with the Russians, I liked that too. I can't wait to see where it develops next week. What about you? Tell me what you think. I'm sure I missed something, and I hope I didn't miss the good stuff, like him saying the Russians killed him. You know what I'm saying? Him siphoning money to the Russians. That was some good information. Oh, Dean spilling the beans about him and Virginia fucking, and that Virginia had never had an orgasm before. Baby, that was, I was like, well, go on then, Dean. Give it to her. Like, yes, honey. Rock her world. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review on Claws, Season 1, Episode number 8, Teatro. Tell me what you think about it. Come on, we family. Let's have that good dialogue that we always have. Leave a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts, what your predictions are. Like this video. Share it with your friends. Share it on your social media. Yes. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I will see you on the next video.